Hi, we're in Dublin, Ohio today, and by now you've probably already guessed we're at Muirfield Village, site of the memorial, and I would have to say Jack's most famous design work here. We are talking today with golf course superintendent James Bryson. Hey James.
How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. Well, I'll tell you, going around this property with you, I don't know how you guys are doing it. You've got a lot of activity going on here. How long have you been under construction?
We've been under construction since Sunday of the Memorial Tournament. Halfway through the round, we started getting some greens torn off and get the contours right so Mr. Nicholas could approve them before he headed out of town on Monday.
Halfway through. Now, I guess what happens if there's playoff? You only pick the holes that wouldn't be used.
Exactly,
yeah.
And lucky for us, number 2 was one of our easier holes to get started with, and that is not a playoff hole.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and got started with that as soon as they were out of ear's reach,
yeah,
and couldn't hear the excavators running.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we ended up taking some bunker sand out and changing the contour of the green with just some bunker sand.
Okay.
Got the contours approved, and then got a green scan.
Yeah.
As soon as the green scan was down, Lavar Golf Renovations went ahead and they started removing all of the rest of the sod from the green and tore it out. And, and they were able to put it back to spec, just like the green scan said. Right.
Wow. Well, that's amazing. And you know, the scope of this project, you're doing greens, fairways, bunkers, rough, something, right? Irrigation. I mean, you're just doing everything, soup to nuts here. All right, James, so I am super excited about this BMP. So let's not waste any more time. Let's start talking about this BMP. Can you tell us about it?
So in the past, we've managed to our weakest variety, which was the POA.
Yeah.
And now with pure bentgrass fairways, we're going to be able to manage to, just the bentgrass.
Right, right.
So we start with less fungicides, less fertilizer, and less water, and that's going to end up reducing the mowing frequency, and it's also going to help with playability because we'll be able to keep some faster and firmer fairways, and we are all about playability.
And I see you've got some heads running out in that fairway right now, so you're just tickling the water out there, trying to keep it moving.
So our irrigation's actually downloaded for 0.012 right now. So a center head is going to run for about 1 minute and 45 seconds.
Yeah.
It's not even a full circle.
Yeah.
And then it goes back down. And about an hour later, we're going to pop it one more time, and that's just going to help keep the very top wet. So we're not trying to waste any water and just keep that seed bank wet.
Yeah, right. Now, is that superstar Chad Mark over there walking to his cart?
That is Chad Mark.
Wow.
Right there.
Okay. Well, I think it's an appropriate time for me to thank him on this video for setting this meeting up too. So thanks so much, Chad. Anyways, I didn't want to interrupt. I just wanted to catch him on video real quick. So you've got the irrigation programmed for tickling throughout the day.
Very minimal.
Yeah. And what kind of pre-plant food you got out there?
So we use a basic starter fertilizer, and I think that is probably going to last us till the end of this week, and then we're going to put a little bit more out. So with watering this much, we didn't want to put it all out once, just because you do have, a little bit of, going down into the soil, and we don't want any waste.
Yeah,
so we'd rather do it twice with lower amounts than just one big shot.
Right, right. And so can you describe the process succinctly from killing, how you killed it, and then how you planted?
So we used a non-selective herbicide, and we used our GPS sprayers for that. And then
GPS sprayers.
So GPS sprayers.
Another BMP sitting there.
And we have noticed that we do use less products. And it was also an amazing thing because there's other things that we purchase for, whether it's fairway aerification sand and stuff like that, and we just realized we do have less fairways than what we originally thought.
Yeah, okay.
So everything has kind of gone down since we've got that, not only our chemical inventory.
Yeah.
So then we came around with a wheel that is it's a precision spray equipment that you just drag it along the bottom of the edge, and it only sprayed inward towards the fairway. Which we then used again to spray some pre-emergent on the outside of the fairways, so we don't get any bentgrass and undesirable species.
That's right.
In our rough.
Yep. Playing out of place, that's where bent becomes a weed, right?
Yep. And then from there, we did give the fairways a little bit of water to make sure that no poa annua popped up. Yeah. And we did see some of our divots that we filled in during the Memorial tournament did pop up.
Yeah.
So then we knew it was safe to go ahead and start seeding. So we started split seeding, and we did 3 directions at 3-inch spacing, and then we drop seeded over top of that. Then did a little bit of top dressing, nothing too heavy, and from there, you know, just started watering.
Yeah, basic stuff. Well, that's pretty amazing. Now, do you guys have any estimates of how much less fungicide you'll be using? Fungicide and water, have you guys run those numbers yet?
We have not. We kind of do everything based off of growing degree days.
Yeah.
So I think our models will expand a little bit. And then throughout the season, I think all superintendents know that if you are able to skip a few apps, you know, here and there at the end of the year, it, you know, adds up to a bigger amount.
Yeah, that's right. And in fact, in the last BMP I covered at Center Hills in State College, superintendent there is feeding the soil using carbon-based fertilizers to feed the soil, and he's now getting up to 30 plus days in his window between sprays, which is ridiculous. So yeah, this is all great stuff. I know you want to show us some fairways that have grown in. We're looking at what you are claiming is the worst looking fairway. So let's pause this for now. We're going to go drive to a great looking fairway, and we'll get some shots of that.